Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is the 24th of July. There are 3 games in the WNBA. We'll recap the one from yesterday as well, see what jaXon likes, and get ready to get up out of here as always, man. So the like button for me as you can as you join. Definitely helps out the show, helps out the algorithm a lot. And let's jump into it for, matter of fact, let's see if I can fix something real quick. I feel like jaXon not working for me right now for whatever reason. My bad. Let me just double check some stuff real quick. See if I can get a prompt. This was already done, I thought, but maybe not. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, there we go. We got the load. All right. So as far as yesterday, just one bet that I placed and 3 that I like. We talked about couple more on the short list. Everything that the 2 plays that I mentioned that I wasn't gonna play, but I liked a lot, both cash. I picked the loser, which was Phoenix minus the 6.5. They came out, just never really looked like they were in the game at all. Satu Sabli, Kalia Copper, just not doing much. And defensively, Phoenix looked really, really bad, giving up 90 points. I think Atlanta team total was like 77.5. So I talked about the over on the show. I was going to play over. It was 161.5, I think, at the time of the recording yesterday. And then I talked about Alyssa Thomas over her 8.5 assists, and she did finish with 9. But they played no defense. The Atlanta Dream pretty much got whatever it is that they wanted, even though they won the second leg of a back-to-back and at a 6-day rest disadvantage. Easy win. And it continues to be a really, really tough season for myself, man. Down just about 6 units. Another unit lost last night. Hopefully we can kind of get right tonight, man. It's a really, really challenging season, to say the least. And I'm not gonna go on any kind of rants or anything like that, but I just got to be better. I do have to be better. So yeah, stick with me if you've been rocking with me for a while. We'll turn this around for sure. But yeah, it's been terrible recently. It has been terrible recently. Hopefully you guys did a little bit better than I did. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. What up, Prolific says Mercury wet the bed. Yeah, it's the second time I done bet the Mercury. I bet them against the Aces as well. They would land a similar number, 6.5. Supposed to be this all-world team. All of a sudden, they can't make a 3. They can't defend the 3. Alicia Gray looked like she was going, to the Hall of Fame last night. I'm watching the game thinking to myself, like, wow, all right, this is the team that I bet on. Gina says she went 0-2. Says good morning to the Christian chat. Went 0-2. Phoenix minus 7.5. AT over her 9.5 assists. Yeah, AT 8.5 assists was money. And it was available. I think you got to the number a little late, Gina. Dirty Rakes had Sabli to get 15. She finished with 13. How about that? Helms says he played the dream on the money line. On the heater right now. Not sure what you're seeing, Helms, but okay. Okay. Nas says Seattle today. What up, Free Sauce? Appreciate you for tapping in. Peasy, likewise. Appreciate you for tapping in as well. Free Sauce says Satu under 6.5 boards for plus 100 was free cash last night. We'll talk about this in a second, Nelly. Atlanta looked real good last night. They did look real good. I agree. Chances our record is identical, almost just sad W season thus far. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. If I didn't do a show every day and I didn't feel like I was almost obligated to cap these games, because when I first started doing this a few years ago, this was super fun. Like we were making tons of money. If you've been rocking with me since the days of Twitter Spaces, it used to be a lot. I feel like it was different back then, and now it's like you're really flipping a coin. Like it don't matter if you got the rest advantage by 6 days. It don't matter. Like there's so many different situations that we can go back and talk about. But I digress, man. Like I said, I'm not gonna go on a rant. I know Chad's a pretty sharp guy. Yeah, we'll get it right. I know Chad will get it right as well. Let's see. Yeah, that's a fact. Now they are. Minnesota look like they're ready to smoke everybody this year. Stud Bud podcast or not. What up, Missy? Appreciate you for tapping in. Gusso says W been whooping him lately as well. Get it back today. What up, Christian? Says good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. I've been getting cooked in the W. I feel like we all have. Helm says zigzag theory been working a lot this year. So honestly, they are about 500 ATS. Honestly, it kind of feels like whatever you're supposed to play, whatever makes the most sense, just play the opposite, because that's what's gonna cash. That's absolutely what's gonna cash. What up, Mark? Appreciate you for tapping in. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it for today, man. let's jump into it for today. So let's start with jaXon. Yesterday, jaXon gave out a winner. Alyssa Thomas under her points and assists. Nice little write up there from jaXon as well. I like the analysis. Didn't play it, of course. I talked about like her assists over, but really it was just her points under. I think she finished with just like 7 points or 9 points. She shot the ball terrible from the field. So the points and assists combined to go under 22.5 was a winner. Today's prompt is back to the one we talked about, the one we've been running for a while now, which is my play is actually on here. The one that I've been talking about for a while. So 2 best WNBA player props, 1 over, 1 under is the prompt for jaXon today. jaXon likes Jackie Young over her 7.5 rebounds and assists. It says she's consistently hit the over on this number. I mean, I feel like I don't even need to read this one. I've been talking about this for a while. Probably should play it more, but I haven't. I saw this up to 8.5 yesterday when I was looking at these lines, and I guess it is a 7.5 out there. That's juice. It looks like at minus 146 on FanDuel. But I'll read the analysis. It says in her recent performance, she's been on absolute tear, hitting the over 100% of her last 5 games, averaging 9.6 combined assists plus rebounds. Over her last 10 games, she's cleared the number 9 of 10. With the average of 8.6. Her performance over the last 15 games is equally impressive, hitting the line 93.33% of the time, averaging 8.9. Even looking at her last 20 games, she's hit the over 75% of the time, averaging 8.3. Her season average of 8.22 consistently is over this line of 7.5. Then you got the matchup analysis. While the Indiana Fever's defense against her position ranks 4th, indicating a strong matchup, Young's direct performance against this team has been solid. This season, she's averaging 9 combined assists plus rebounds in 4 games against the Fever, hitting the over in 50% of the time. So that can't be that can't be right. I'm sorry, that was last season. I'm sorry. In the most recent 2025-2026 season, she's averaged 8 in 2 games against them, also hitting the over 50% of the time. Her consistent output against a specific opponent, despite their defensive ranking, highlight her ability to produce. News context: although the Las Vegas Aces have faced some struggles, Jackie Young individual output in assists and rebounds has remained robust. Her ability to contribute across multiple statistical categories make her a reliable option for a combined prop. So Jackie Young over. We've been talking a lot about this. Over her rebounds and assists at 7.5, minus 146 on FanDuel right now. And I'm not sure if that's the best number. Definitely, shop around. Make sure you guys are getting the best of the number. But yeah, this is one that we talked about. Like I said, I saw it at 8.5. I'm pretty sure it's 8.5 on most books. Looks like Bet365 got it at minus 145, and then everybody else is minus 150 or better. FanDuel is minus 152. So Bet365 typically has the best eyes on player props most of the time. Let's see. And then the under is Chelsea Gray. jaXon just cashed this one because I got it written down right here on the 22nd, 2 days ago, when the Aces were playing against the Atlanta Dream. jaXon cashed this one. So going back to Chelsea Gray, under her rebounds and assists at 8.5. Really don't feel like I want to read all these analyses either, but I'll go through it real quick. So under 8.5 rebounds and assists for Chelsea Gray, the point guard. This pick is heavily influenced by Gray's performance against Indiana Fever. This season, she's averaged just 5.5 combined assists and rebounds in the 2 games versus the Fever, hitting the under 100% of the time. Looking back at last season, she's averaged 6th in 3 games against them, also hitting the under 100% of the time. The Indiana Fever's defense against her position ranks 4th, which further supports a lower output for Gray in this specific matchup. Recent trends: while Gray has shown a tendency to hit the over on this prop in her last 5 to 10 games overall, 80% hit rate for the point guard highs she's achieved 2 years ago, particularly since her foot injury. The narrative aligns with more conservative projections for her combined assist and rebounds, especially against a tough defensive opponent like the Indiana Fever. The pick, I'm recommending taking Chelsea Gray under 8.5 rebounds and assists is the number here. So that's what jaXon likes today. Again, use the promo code in the description. Check jaXon out. At this point, I may have to start tailing jaXon so I can get some winners because it ain't working out for me. jaXon is, what's this? 1, 2. jaXon ain't doing great either. It looks like last 5 plays, jaXon is 2 and 3. And then I've been writing these down. So 2 and 3, 3 and 4. 4 and 4, 5 and 4, 6-5. So about 6-5. Looks like jaXon's about 6-5. Still better than what I've been doing recently. So check jaXon out, man. Let's jump into it for today. First up, we have the Sparks and the Connecticut Sun. Let me just double check the line. I put these in right before, so shouldn't have moved too much. Okay. All right, so it's 160. Total's 166. 169. It is up from 160. You could have got a 166 yesterday. I think you could have got a 165.5 too. And the spread has moved a little bit. Money coming in on the Sparks in this spot, pushing them from a 5-point favorite up to a 6-point favorite. So we jump into the matchup. First off, we look at the injury report. Good news for the Sparks. Cameron Brink, she's not going to be available for this game, but she is going through full workouts, like getting some 5-on-5 stuff in as well. I think Cameron Brink is going to be back very, very soon, which she should be. She absolutely should be, because she's been out for a very, very long time. And if you're new to the WNBA, you haven't seen her play, go check her out. Go check her out. She won't be available in this game, but she will be back soon after, suffering that ACL injury last year. So Cameron Brink is out. Only player available on the Sparks. I thought it was good that, Kelsey Plum wasn't on the injury report, especially after she took the hit against the Washington Mystics and went down in that game, but she is going to be available. Marina Mabry is listed as probable for the Connecticut Sun. And I'll be honest with you guys, that's where it kind of ends. So I handicapped these games yesterday as soon as I finished the show for yesterday. And I already liked the over in this spot, and that's what I ended up playing. The number that I got, of course, is gone now, though. I'm not sure where this closes at, if it actually goes over. Who knows anymore in the WNBA? But I'll tell you guys this. It's only really one way to play Sparks games. They continue to go over. They've gone over in 7 of their last 10 games, 5 straight games. Offensively, they've been on an absolute heater recently in their last few games. And I do think, I talked about this a couple weeks ago. You kind of got to look at teams in phases, of course. But the phase that you really want to see is like who they've been playing against. The Sparks have played against some absolute cupcakes on defense. They just scored 92 against the Connecticut Sun when they played right before the All-Star break, like 3 games ago. Then the Washington Mystics came to town. They dropped 99 on the Washington Mystics when they were at home. And then they go to DC after the break, and they drop 93 against the Washington Mystics. So 92, 99, 93. You just need Connecticut to be able to contribute just a little bit, and I think that they will, especially getting Marina Mabry back. Connecticut's offense, of course, is not great by any stretch of their imagination. They do perform a lot better at home. If you look at their home games, they've gone over the total in 56% of their games, opposed to on the road, just 42% of their games they've hit the over. And to put some numbers to that, they averaged 68 points on the road in 12 games, but in their 10 home games, they have averaged 78. So I'm not laying points with the Sparks on the road. Like it was, it seems like a classical letdown spot. To me, this game feels like, it feels like, remember right before the break, I told you guys I like the Mystics to go into LA and, get a win over this Sparks team, the same Sparks team. And, hindsight being 2020, the Mystics are still a young team. I don't want to lay points with the Mystics. I keep saying that. I don't care if they're at home, they're on the road. Sometimes they can overperform. They have overperformed, in my opinion, throughout the season. They've won, I think they were 11-12 going into the break. They weren't supposed to be that good. They weren't supposed to have 2 players on the All-Star team. Well, 3 players on the All-Star team if you include the injuries that added, Brittany Sykes. But that's how I kind of feel about the Sparks. The Sparks, don't get it twisted. They're getting a lot healthier. Now you have Julie Alamon back. You got Ray Burrell back. Nakia Jax is going over her points prop, I think, in 4 straight games. Kelsey Plum is out there leading. Dearica Hamby, Azarae Stevens are a dynamic, duo in the front court. So they are getting a lot healthier. Don't get it twisted. I just don't want to I'm not laying points with the Sparks on the road, knowing that they're one of the worst defensive teams in the WNBA. The other thing about Connecticut is they've covered half of their spreads at home as well. I think they're 5-5 against the number at home so far this season. So it's not something that I could play. I did look into a couple other things as well. Let me just see what else I had in my notes. So the Sparks, if they're in a game playing a team that they've already beaten this season, and it's a road game, they are 3-0 to the over. Those games are averaging 190, close to 180 points. So yeah, and then like I said, the Sun at home this season, where they've been a lot more competitive, they've gotten 2 of their 3 wins, I think, at home. They are 5-5, like I said, against the number, and 5-4-1 to the over. Average total is about 160.5. So, yeah, I think this game is going to be played with pace. We've seen the Sparks play really, really fast recently. I think they lead the W in a lot of different offensive metrics. I saw that yesterday through the LA PR Twitter report. Like, they're like top 2 or 3 in like pretty much all the categories offensively, not defensively, not really guarding anybody, but yeah, I think this game goes up and over. I did get a really good number yesterday based on where it is right now. Let's see. So I'm not going to harp on that too much because that play is kind of gone. It's actually the only thing that I played so far because I did love that total yesterday. But who knows, man? Who really knows? Let's see. I'm going to go through the comments real quick. So last 5 games, Sparks are number 1 in scoring. They average 91 points per game. They're number 1 in offensive rating as well, 113.5 offensive rating. 10th in defensive rating, and they're playing at the 7th fastest pace in the last 5 games. So take with that information, do what you want. The number 1 in effective field goal percentage as well. Number 1 in points, number 5 in points off turnovers, number 1 in points in the paint. The Connecticut Sun allow the most points in the paint on the full season and over the last 5 games. So yeah, I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Let's see what you guys think here. Let's go back to the top real quick. Go Young DJ says Twitter Spaces were dope. Yeah, they were dope, man. Yeah, it's been pretty bad, man. What up, Anthony? Appreciate you for tapping in. Just thanks for your time and free information. Hit the like button for your boy community. Appreciate that, Anthony. Appreciate that for sure. Yeah, hit the like button for me if you guys can. Billy says I got all the dogs. I couldn't talk you off of just taking dogs every single game. Matter of fact, let's see what dogs are this season. Now, sometimes dogs will get absolutely smoked. Dogs are covering about 54% of the time, 53.7%, 80, 69, and 2 are the dogs this season. They've won 32%, 32.5%, but they cover 53.7%. It just lets you know that like there's a lot of variance in the WNBA these days. The average line is about 6 is what they're getting, and they're losing by about 5. So there you go. 3 straight dogs have covered: Sparks, Wings, Dream, and they all won outright too. But before that, 3 straight dogs got smoked. The Aces lost to the Dream. The Dream lost to the Aces. The Fever lost to the Liberty. Didn't cover that game, and then the Sky, of course, got smoked by the Lynx as well. Lost that game by 23. So it really is just who knows, bro? Who really knows? Who really knows? Jason says, I took over 8.5 rebounds and assists for Jackie Young last night at plus 114. Like it. What up, bet at your own risk? Says, what's good, chat? I cashed on Missy's first half and the under 41.5 for the Sky, over 34.5 2 days ago. Like to hear that. Helm says he's going to play Asia under her points, rebounds, and assists. Okay, we'll talk about that game in just a second. Chad says line has went all the way to 4.5, now back to 2. Oh yeah, I did see that. We'll talk about that game in just a second. Grab Sparks -5 at open. I'm sure it's 4 point. It's a 4-point win. Yo, Chad, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I felt the same way, man. That's why I couldn't play it. And here comes Helms on the opposite side saying that the Suns get their 3rd win at home and 4th win of the season this year. Fun times if you betting WNBA, man. Fun times, boy. Brink will be a game changer. I do agree with that. Mark says he played 5.5 and over 166. Okay, got a really good number. Free Sauce is going to rock with Tina Charles over 22.5 points plus rebounds. I do think Tina's in a really good spot today. So if we go, I'm not actually going to put this on the screen, but check out Outliers if you guys. Well, actually, I will put Outlier on the screen, but not for this game specifically. I do got a player prop that I want to talk about in the next game. So if you go over to Outlier, you look at Tina Charles, her points prop listed at 22.5, her rebound prop listed at 6.5. She's actually gone over her rebound prop. Tina Charles has in 4 straight games. And in 3 of those games, she's actually gotten 10 or more. So 11 against Seattle, 10 against Seattle, 7 against the same Sparks team, and then 11 against the Fever. This is a Sparks team that does allow the fewest rebounds in the WNBA. Imagine that. And so you do a pretty good job rebounding the basketball, but she's been cashing. Tina Charles has been cashing the rebound prop. If we look at points plus rebounds specifically, 22.5 is the number. She has gone over in 3 of the last 4 with 40, 30, 32, but against the Sparks, she only had 16. So take with that information, do what you want. I feel like she's played a little bit better at home. Oh yeah, she's been killing at home. Tina Charles is actually over in. Matter of fact, I will put this on the screen. I just want to show you guys this. All right, so let's just take a short trip over, and then I'll go through the rest of the comments. We'll move into the next game. So this is Outlier. I wasn't even planning on doing this for this game, but this is Outlier. Shout out to Free Sauce, 22.5 points plus rebounds. So we look at Tina Charles. We have to look at her points plus rebounds. I thought I had it pulled up. Okay. Points plus rebounds are here. So like I said, she went over in 3 of the last 4. When she goes over, she goes way over, 32, 30, and 40. If we look at just her home games this season, she has been dominant at the crib. Look at that. That's what you're looking for. Some consistency, right? And this is over in 8 of her 10 home games so far this season. Now, granted, the line may be lowered because Marina Mabry's supposed to come back, but who knows how efficient Marina Mabry's going to be in her first game playing. I think it's been over a month. I think her last game was like June the 20-something. So it's July 20-something now. So yeah, take with that information, do what you want. But Tina Charles crushes this line at the crib. And this is also what you look for, right? This looks like the books are off because she averages 26.4 at the crib. So you're getting a lot of value here for her at 22 and a half. Yeah, I may add this to the short list. Good old Tina Charles. I like this. Shout out to Free Sauce. Points plus rebounds for Tina Charles. I like it. Good find, Free Sauce. I know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to look at her minutes, make sure they haven't gone down. Nah, she's been playing last 10 games. Oh no, these are home games in general. Yeah, 30, 34, 34, 23, 28. Just look in general. Yeah, her minutes are consistent. 34, 34, 35, 34. She was hurt for a little while. I remember she had that shoulder injury. Okay, I like it. All right, I like it, Free Sauce. Appreciate you for sharing that. What else y'all saying in the chat? Let's keep going. Free Sauce. What up, G421? Says Kelsey Plum over her assists, Azare over her points and rebounds. So we talked about Azare last game. They did bump that number up, I think, to 23.5 now. She was at 22.5 last game. I didn't play it, but that was a winner. I think it was a winner. And then what else did you say? You said Kelsey Plum over her assists. They still got it at, it's been at what, 4.5 or 5.5? I think it's 5.5. This is the worst defense. We got to remember that. Now, granted, they might come out here and play a little bit of defense today. Hopefully, if you like the Sparks, you hope that they're not feeling themselves. But yeah, here is Kelsey Gray's assists. Last 10 games, she's crushing this number, and the best number you can get. So 4.5 is available, but it's super juice. Looks like it's only available on Prize Pick as well. DraftKings got it at minus 195. God, so you probably got to play the 5.5. But she's crushing it, right? 3 of her last 4. And what is this? 7 of her last 7 of her last 9. If we she's the primary ball handler. Ever since they cut Ari McDonald. No, they cut what's the other guard's name? Dang, I got a picture in my head. I can't think of her name. She used to play for Dallas. Dang, y'all know who I'm talking about. Ever since they cut her, to me, what that means is that they want Kelsey Plum to be the point guard for this team and try to facilitate the getting hers in the flow as well. And Sparks kind of putting it together. They had way too much offensive talent to keep getting smoked the way that they were. But yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Kelsey Plum, assist prop in this spot. We know that the minutes are going to be there. She's going to have the ball as well. Connecticut Sun give up the second most assists. You can see that right here. To the guards, they give up the third most assists. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good look. Cheetah says, I'm going Connecticut plus the points. I think they're going to win, and I think that they have been playing some really good basketball. I agree with that. Noah says, everyone is betting that Tina Charles prop. Books will catch up and adjust soon if she hits again. I agree, but sometimes it takes a while, though, Noah. Sometimes it takes a while. Like, this is not like the NBA, right? Like, there's a couple of these props where the books don't catch up. They just don't. I think about, Nafisha Collier assists. at 3.5. Just continues to print money. Jackie Young over her rebounds and assists. Chelsea Gray under her rebounds and assists. Like some of these, the books just don't catch up on. Natasha Howard, whenever Caitlin Clark doesn't play, typically does really well. So some of these. Let's see. Mr. House says, yeah, I'm not reading that right now, but yeah, I agree. All right, what else y'all saying here? She couldn't make a shot until she couldn't miss a shot. Hell, she went on that 10-0 run by herself. Sabrina been hooping. What's up, Nayeli? She says, I kind of like the Sun +6. They play good at home, and of course the over 168. But the Sparks are trying to push to make it into the playoffs, so I can see the Sparks keeping the score, keep scoring. So live bet. Yeah, I think I'm not laying points with the Sparks. I know that for sure. But Marina Mabrey coming back, how much does that throw the offense off? I think it absolutely can. Anthony says, Chris, can't you look at Marina threes if she plays? Looks like she's in the prime spot. Yeah, I think you really just kind of worry about the rust. I'm not real big on playing these WNBA players in their first game back, even though you can get some very, very soft lines. I think her threes were listed at 1.5 because I did take a peek yesterday. So yeah, 1.5. You can see Marina Mabrey hasn't played a game since June the 20th. Shout out to my mama. Her birthday, June 21st. That was a whole month and 3 days ago. So, I mean, you can see here, Sparks give up the second most threes in the WNBA. Marina's she plays guard or forward. Against the guards, they give it up. Yeah, I mean, if you like Marina, don't let me talk you off, man. She can absolutely go crazy, as you can see here. She did, struggle in these last 3 games or 4. We have no idea how many minutes she's going to play. Any of that type of stuff, Anthony. So, yeah, I mean, she gets a pretty good matchup, though. I'm pretty sure she's been, shooting threes. That's the easy thing to do when you're coming back. So, yeah, look for Marina Mabrey for sure to hit a couple threes today. -110 odds, so you're not, paying too much juice. Kind of by low spot. You just kind of worry about her minutes and her conditioning, in my opinion. That's my thought process, but don't let me talk you off. Dirty Rake says, I got to believe the Sparks, leaving the Sparks sooner or later. Got a couple long shot futures tied up with them. I like it. Noah says either. I actually, at this point, Noah, it might be that time to start taking the Sparks season until over. They've won 3 straight games. Granted, they played against the softest competition in the WNBA, and that's the one thing I always tell you guys, got to be on the lookout for, right? The Sparks are cruising right now, but this is the same thing I told you guys about the Valkyries, and they lost 5 of their last 6 games, right? As soon as they get away from Golden State and they don't got all that noise in the arena behind them, they don't look as great. So same thing, right? You got to take it with a grain of salt. Sparks have won 3 games in a row, but it's been against the Sun, the Mystics, and the Mystics. So they also did beat the Fever as well. Lost to the Lynx, lost to the Liberty, lost to the Sky. So who knows? They have been playing a lot better recently, though. So, all right, let's see. What else y'all seeing here? Nicest honesty, I'm going to sprinkle on all the underdogs in the money line. Nice revenge for 2. And if no Scala, easy for the Sky, +280, +2840. So Scala is supposed to be back. Odyssey Sims is exactly who I'm talking about. Appreciate y'all. Odyssey Sims, who crazy enough still don't got a job in the WNBA, but it is what it is. Absolutely agree with that. Mark says Plum was talking about a big push in the second half, motivated. Yeah, and Lynn Roberts is doing a pretty good job. And I think they're just getting healthy. They're getting acclimated with each other. Some of the times I sit back and I think to myself, man, it's hard. I feel like an idiot betting on some of these teams early in the season because they played 2 or 3 games, but they have a new head coach. They got, 3-4 new starters to the starting lineup. It takes a minute to gel. And it's like, then you see 10, 15 games and you're like, I can't believe I was betting on that team back then. That was so idiotic. I was losing money when this team had no synergy, no chemistry together. Still trying to put it together. So yeah, but they also, like I said, they played a really soft schedule. All right, let's keep going. A lot of comments. Scala is playing. I did see that as well. All right, let's see. Thomas says it's rumored Sims wanted to step away. I didn't see that. Okay. All right, let's see what we have coming up next. I bet over in this game. But like I said, I got a really good number. All right, let's flip back to Let's flip screens and then we'll get into the next game. There's a player prop that I want to show there too, so I should have probably stayed on that screen, but it's all good. All right, so let's go with Aces and the Fever. Line, I think when I started the show, was at consensus was 2. Now it is still 2. Total actually going up. 164.5 is the new is the new total. The new total for this game, 164.5 now. So money coming in on the over because this actually opened yesterday. I want to say I wrote in my notes 162.5, and the Fever were actually getting a point. And then I think Chad mentioned it. It did go up to 4.5, and I thought about this long and hard last night. I was like, man, I really want to take Indiana plus the points in this spot. So let's jump into the matchup. So first and foremost, the reason why the line moved from 1 to 4.5 and now I guess back down to 2, at least from 1 to 4.5 was because Caitlin Clark got ruled out. Eventually she's going to return, but she has not played in quite a while. So no Caitlin Clark. The Aces will be pretty healthy in this game. They're only missing Cheyenne Parker-Tyus. And the interesting note about the Aces in this spot specifically is that they do have a game tomorrow, right? Let me just double check that. I wrote in my notes. I just want to double check, make sure I ain't tripping. Yeah, the Aces play tomorrow. They play in Minnesota tomorrow. Do not like that for the Aces. So either the Aces are going to win this game. It's a nice little revenge spot for them. Got smoked by the Fever the last time that they played. They won the first matchup in Vegas. And then they get smoked tomorrow, I think, by the Lynx. Or they lose today and they end up covering tomorrow versus the Lynx. I think one of the two is going to happen. But it is the first leg of a back-to-back. Like I said, they got Minnesota. They've actually been playing some pretty good ball. They've won 3 straight. You look at this Indiana Fever team. Again, you got to take it with a grain of salt. First game back home after a 3-game road trip, which they didn't cover any of those games. They lost back-to-back to the New York Liberty. Didn't cover, like I said, either one of those games. Then before that, right before the All-Star break, they were in Connecticut. And they didn't cover, laying 15 points in that game. That was the game that Caitlin Clark got hurt. They do have a ton of more rest after this game before they head to Chicago to play the Sky. I think that's like maybe on Saturday, I think. And like I said, this is the third matchup. The Aces won the first one by 1 point as a home dog. The second game, the Aces, Caitlin Clark got ruled out. It's kind of the same scenario. Aces were going on the road. They were coming off a win. Indiana absolutely throttled the Aces, beat them 81-54 as a 4.5 point dog. And I was on the Aces in that spot. One of the worst plays I've made all season. Probably the worst loss from the Aces. What I looked at yesterday, though, was how the Aces have played since then. So you also got to take this with a grain of salt. So since losing that game, the Aces have come alive a little bit. They're 3-3 against the spread, not great. But defensively, they're allowing 2 less points per game. That number came down from 82 to 80. And then offensively, they're averaging about 5.5 more points per game. That number has gone from 80.5 up to 85.5. So the reason why I said, you kind of got to take the Indiana Fever last couple losses with a grain of salt is because, yes, Indiana just lost. Yes, they didn't cover either game. Indiana was playing against the New York Liberty. The New York Liberty, in my personal opinion, are the best team in the WNBA when they're fully healthy and they're fully constructed, as currently constructed. And we haven't even seen Emma play with them yet. So, especially getting Jacqueline Jones back when she's healthy. So, I think the Indiana Fever are live to win this game. I only want to bet on them. I don't really want to bet against the Aces right now because I know that, they probably want to win this game. There's a nice little revenge spot for them as well. I know that they're going to play with a lot more energy and effort. So I don't really want to touch the game from a side perspective. I think Indiana can absolutely get the job done. I think the Fever will be motivated. I think the Fever will be motivated coming back home off a 3-game losing streak. I think the Aces will be motivated because they got smoked in the last time that they got played against this Fever team. They lost that game by 27 points, man. You kind of remember that. And it wasn't super long ago either. The last time that these two teams played was actually on the 3rd of July. So it was at the beginning of the month, 21 days ago, exactly 3 weeks ago. Like I said, they were laying 4.5, got smoked in that game. The more I looked at it yesterday, the more I think, and I hate playing totals. Like, I hate playing unders because every game goes over, but I kind of want to bet under. What I wrote in my notes as far as the total goes is the Aces Granted, their offense has been playing better. I just told you guys that, but they're still 8-4 to the under this season on the road. So offensively, sometimes these other players don't come to play. Jackie Young, not Jackie Young, Jewel Lloyd. My apologies. And their bench can be very, very volatile as well. Dana Evans is coming off a really good game. Wouldn't be surprised if she didn't show up in this one. I like Aaliyah Nye, but outside of her, even her sometimes that she doesn't come to play either. But she is a rookie, so you got to give her some slack. So 8-4 to the under on the road this season, 4-1 to the under in revenge games this season, and 4-0 to the under in revenge games that are on the road as well. Aces 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games overall. Both games that they played so far this season have stayed under the total. Going back to last season, 3 of the last 4 stayed under the total. And then just last 10 games in general, 7 of the 10 have stayed under the total. So I kind of want to get there with the under 164.5. I look at the pace for both of these teams. You can see it on the screen, 6 and 7. These are full season numbers, but real quick, if I just go, let's see. If I pull up last 10 games, last 5 game numbers for both of these teams. The Indiana Fever are actually second in pace. They have been playing against a fast New York Liberty teams. Things you got to take into consideration. And the Aces are actually 6th. Hold on, I'm sorry. Last 5 games, yeah. Indiana Fever are second. The Las Vegas Aces are 3rd in pace. So both of these teams kind of playing super fast. Maybe it gets up and over the total. I don't want to bet over though. I kind of just, this is the game I watch. I don't feel inclined to want to bet this one. No idea what to do with it. As far as player props go, though, there is one that I want to share with you guys. I kind of hinted at this earlier. So we go right back over to Outlier really quickly. Let's see. Again, there is a link in the description. 7-day free trial if you guys want to check out Outlier for your player prop bets or research. I like Aaliyah Boston in this spot. No, she gets a pretty tough matchup against Asia Wilson. But she's played well in this position pretty much all season. Yesterday, when I was looking into this, I was thinking points, and I was thinking points and rebounds. I was thinking rebounds, so I landed on points plus rebounds. The number was 21.5. It wasn't juiced yesterday, but now it is juiced to minus 120. Shop around, see where you can get the best of the number. But I like Aaliyah Boston in this spot. So if you look at her last 10 games, she has struggled. She doesn't play as well without Caitlin Clark. We know that, of course. But you can see that she does still average 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists points and rebounds in her last 10 games. Also, what I looked at was her actual games this season. So you see full season, she's over in 56% of her games. But if you look at her games this season at the crib, she's played a little bit better at home than she's played on the road, averaging right at 24.5 points plus rebounds, 62% hit rate. In the 2 games against the Aces, they actually came right here. 27 and 35 so far this season for Aaliyah Boston at the crib. Well, not even at the crib, but against the Aces. So I kind of like Aaliyah Boston. The deeper I looked into it, the Aces are bottom half of the league in points allowed via post up, and we know Aaliyah Boston likes to post up. They're also third. They allow the 3rd most points in the paint. 20 and 7 is what she had in the first game, and then 26 and 10 in the second game against the same Aces team. So if I'm betting on a player prop, I think Aaliyah Boston coming back to the crib off a 3-game losing streak. I think that's the player that I want to bet on is Aaliyah Boston. Far side and total, no idea. Like I said, I want to bet under, but unders suck. Unders stink. Nobody really wants to play a lot of defense right now. But that's the way I kind of lean in this one. Let's go to the top, see what you guys are thinking about this one. What did I miss? Where did I start at? Oh, I started right here. Okay. Yes, follow WNBA Underdog for all the updates for sure. Gina says she'll go Asia, 25 plus points in her pocket. She plays well against the Fever. No one can stop her. Yeah, she does play well against the Fever. I think sometimes they don't even really show up either. So, I forgot to mention Chelsea Gray under 8.5 rebounds and assists. Also, Jackie Young over her rebounds and assists. We already talked about those, but that's what jaXon like. I kind of like both of those looks as well. Ajin says, Nayeli says, another over for sure. 165, I lean Fever. Think Fever might win outright. I kind of agree with that. Dirty Ray says, I don't believe in the Fever are better without Caitlin Clark talk. If she's not in, I'm on this other side. Give me the Aces minus 2.5. It is a lot of talk going on. We will leave that for the talking heads. That's not we talk about bets over here, but I have heard some of that. Bitchy said Aces over 82.5 points. Haven't bet, played, but leaning. So this comment here makes me think about this. I'm actually pull this up on the screen real quick, and then I'll go through the rest of the comments. I'm gonna try to do this pretty quickly because I did use the Money Baller to look into this game as well. So something you just said, Dirty Reed, makes me think about this. So this is Money Baller. It's also in the description if you guys want to check this out. So these are full season numbers between the Aces and the Fever. You can see Aces do have double digit in season revenge because they lost that last game by 27. First game back home for the Fever. They're saying it's a flat spot because they played 3 straight road games and then faded a small favorite of 3.5 off a win. Typically, you get the zigzag theory, right? So it's saying fade the Aces because they are only laying a small number off a win. So it could be a little bit of a letdown spot. So that favors the Fever as well. So if we look at the Fever, right? This is what stood out to me. These are some of the trends. Fever as a home dog. 3-0 against the spread. And they've won, I think they're 2-1 against the number as a home dog this season. This was something that I looked into as well, right? So let me just double check this. Yeah, 2-1 straight up. They beat the Liberty. They lost to the Liberty by 2 as a 4-point dog. And then they beat the Liberty outright. That was with Caitlin Clark, 102-88. And then they beat the Aces as well, smoked the Aces. So same stack spot. They have gone over their team total in every single game. They've averaged 90 points. They've given up just 77 in these 3 games. No, granted, take that with a grain of salt because the Aces only scored 54. The Liberty got to 90 and 88 in both of those games. And the first 2 games were played with Caitlin Clark. The last game was played without Caitlin Clark. The last game was played against the Aces, and the Aces had everybody. So a little bit of a letdown spot for the Aces. I don't think we get a letdown spot for the Aces in this spot, though. Could be wrong because they have won 3 games in a row. Could be time for them to let their hair down. But everything that I've heard from A'ja Wilson, post last game before the All-Star break after they beat the Dallas Wings is that, we really need to lock in. We really need to win these games. So you really just, whatever you're taking, pretty much money line. If you take plus 2.5, you need the Fever to win the game outright. And same thing for the Aces. If you like the Aces, maybe just take them on the money line. As far as that under goes, right? We talked about this. Aces 5-2 to the first half under. Indiana Fever are pretty good. 5-2 to the under in the first half are the Aces when they are road favorites. So offensively, they don't play as well. The Fever do go over their team total as a home dog in the first half. So maybe it's Fever first half. Let's see. ATS wise, Fever first half 2-1. Aces first half 4-3. So not a lot there. So this is full season numbers. I also looked at last 5 games. When I was looking into this earlier as well, the Fever have been a lot better and pretty much in like a lot of these categories is what, you can see all the green over here when I was looking into this last night. And then what else did I want to share with you guys? Fever continue to get the job done in the first half. 4-1 against the number, 1-0 against this. This is the Aces. 4-1 in the first half, so they played really well. Fever only 2-3, but they were laying points against the Connecticut Sun, and then of course getting points twice against the New York Liberty. One time on the second leg of a back-to-back, they just really didn't come to perform in that game, and then they won the first half outright against the New York Liberty in their last game. So maybe Fever early. I can see that as well. First game back home, coming off 3 non-covers, 2 losses outright. But I wanted to share that with you guys real quick. Let's see. Free sauces, both teams are 500. I'm leaning towards the Fever +2. I like Sophie Cunningham tonight. So Sophie's been hooping. I don't know if people have been paying attention. I don't want to bet on Sophie because I know when I bet on her, she absolutely won't show up. But without Caitlin Clark being there, I think Sophie's over in 4 straight games over her points. Yeah, 5 straight games. My fault. 16, 13, 11, 12, and 15. And she's sitting at 9.5 tonight. So she's cleared this line by at least a point in her last 5 games. She has been absolutely shooting the lights out. If you might just want to take her 3-point prop, she's 4 for 5, 2 for 3, 2 for 3, 2 for 8, and 5 for 8. Her 3-point prop is listed at 1.5. It is -130. This might be worth a look. I like this. I'm gonna write this down along with Tina Charles points and rebounds. Sophie Cunningham. Shout out to Free Sauce, man. You got all the looks. Okay, over 1.5 threes. I'll stay away from the points, but her 3-point prop looks really, really good right now. Looks really, really good. She's hit 2 or more in 5 straight games. Could be time to fade her, but and the Aces do give up the second fewest threes in the WNBA as well. So maybe it's time to fade her, but I couldn't talk anybody off a little Sophie over her 1.5 threes, knowing that Caitlin Clark's not going to be there. She's going to get the looks for sure. She's definitely going to get the looks. All right, what else y'all saying? Helms like the Fever as well, +2.5. I wish I could have got the 4.5. Bronson's lean Indiana, but which Indiana team is going to show up? That's what we're trying to guess, man. Marks is Aces -2.2. Nah, he's Aces -2. You can get Aces money line -135 if you like them. Those can say what they want, but Caitlin Clark is the leader of the Fever, and when she's out, it shows. Just kind of depends. What up, Dom? Says he likes under 164 as well. Like it. Resource says Natasha Cloud over 18.5 points and rebounds at home versus the Aces. She's only under this line once in her career. Pull up the outlier, Chris. I won't pull it up, but I believe you, Resource. I bet on Natasha Cloud over right before the All-Star break against the New York Liberty on that second leg of back-to-back. And Stephanie White, man, you know what? I don't got nothing nice to say. Stephanie White didn't play her. Let's just put it like that. Stephanie White didn't play her in the second half. She finished with 18 minutes, I think. I think she played like 3 minutes in the second quarter. She blew like 4 bunnies. And of course she goes over in the game after the All-Star break against the same exact team. So it's the same exact matchup, all that good stuff. She goes over. Let's see. Mark says Becky seems to be boning in the last few games before the break. In my opinion, she gets back on them in the second half. I can see that. Chad says Aces revenge, just like they did against the Valkyries after they blew them out. That's a fact. That is true. Helm says, he says Helms, damn, we're on the opposite side so far. What up, Fahrenheit? Appreciate you for tapping in. G421 says Aces revenge, spot -1.5. Joe Lloyd woke up in the last game, Chris. Not arguing with the under 2. I like under. Joe Lloyd woke up. Joe Lloyd been asleep all season, man. What she had? Last game she woke up, she had 7 on 3 for 11 shooting against the Atlanta Dream. That she's still asleep. 7 points ain't gonna cut it. Now 3 for 11 shooting. G421. Maybe she scored all 7 of them at the same time because I didn't see Joe Lloyd do anything in that last game. Sophie's shot 8 threes last 2 games at over 1.5 last 5 games straight. I just looked at that free sauce. The volume is there. No Caitlin. I like it. Fahrenheit reminding people to hit the like button. Appreciate you, Fahrenheit. Always, bro. If y'all can hit the like button, it definitely helps. What else am I missing down here? Chad says I got 1, but probably wouldn't lay multiples. Take Ari assist over. Marquis says, so yesterday it wasn't available when I looked for Ari assist. They have boosted it up now to 5.5. She was listed at 4.5 in the last game. You can get some juice 4.5. They're like -165 though. I don't want anything to do with that. BetMGM actually got it at -140. That's like a cutoff for me. -140, -145 on a player prop is about where I'm gonna go. But yeah, Ari has been hooping, man. 5.5 assists. If you like the 4.5, you can potentially put it with something. But yeah, she's over her assist prop in 3 of her last 4 games. Let's see, against the Aces specifically, she had 7. She only played in 1 of those games. She did have 7. So yeah, take with that information, do what you want. But I could see that, Marquise, for sure. Anthony says Jackie Young over rebounds and assists has been the most profitable bet in WNBA this season. why get off the train. I'm on it. FanDuel minus 146. Books are catching on, but not juice when you win. That's a fact. That's a fact, Anthony. I agree with that for sure. Appreciate you, Bissy. What up, Justin? Hope all is well with you, bro. Feel like I ain't talked to you in a minute, man. Appreciate you for tapping in. One and done. Sports says Connecticut money line plus 210. Sky plus 9.5. Cash it. Let's get over to that last game. We only got one left. And that is Sky and Storm. This line, I think, is at, let me just double check. Yeah, 9.5 is where it's settled. Total continuing to come down. It's actually down to 156 now. There's some 155.5s out there as well. It's actually open at 161.5 yesterday. And the spread was only 6. Remember, I talked about this yesterday on the show. Spread has ballooned out to 9.5 because of the injury report. So if we look at the couple things that work well here for Seattle, if you can trust them, they have nobody on the injury report after Skylar Diggins missed that last game. And they are coming off that absolute embarrassing loss at home to the Dallas Wings, where they were laying 9.5, then down to 6.5, and lost the game outright, and it wasn't even really close. The Chicago Sky will be without Rachel Branham. Rachel Branham will play. They will be without Michelle Onyenwere. They will continue to be without Ariel Atkins. And then Angel Reese is also on the injury report with a back injury. So if Angel Reese doesn't play, I mean, we've seen this show one time this season. It was the game right before the All-Star break. Chicago were at home playing against the Atlanta Dream. The Dream were coming off, I think, back-to-back losses. And Chicago scored 49 points for the full game. We were actually doing a stream because it was a camp day game as well. And they got blasted. I think they lost the game by like 45 to the Dream. This offense is just not a great offense. They're going to turn the ball over left and right without, a true point guard being there. I don't care if they're at home. I don't care if they're on the road. We saw the same thing against the Minnesota Lynx. They won the first quarter and went on this drought where they couldn't score the basketball. And the thing about Chicago is they really turn the ball over. They don't have a true playmaker without Ariel Atkins being there. And of course, Courtney Vandersloot done for the full season. Like Rachel Branham is a knockdown three-point shooter, but sometimes three-point shots don't fall. Kia Nurse is not like more of a shooting guard, but her shot is kind of iffy as well. Rebecca Allen is kind of in and out as well. Like if they're not getting a lot of offensive rebounds, which Seattle can do a really poor job of rebounding the basketball, even though they have Nneka and Ezzy and Gabby Williams, they probably won't be too effective. So I know Seattle has been absolutely terrible. It's their first road game after 4 straight home games. This starts a 3-game Eastern Conference road trip for them. They're 7-4 against the spread on the road. So they have played a lot better on the road for whatever reason. Even though they haven't been playing well recently, they lost, like I said, their last game to Dallas as by double digits as a 6.5-point favorite. They're just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. I'm not laying this big of a number with them. 9.5. I think it's way too many points for me. I don't like playing favorites that much, and definitely, even if Angel Reese gets ruled out, I don't want anything to do with Seattle laying double digits on the road. But Chicago, kind of coming back down to earth as well. Just 4-6 straight up, and against the spread at home. For whatever reason, it feels like they play a little bit better on the road. They had looked really good before the Ariel Atkins injury. Remember, this team had actually covered, I think, 8 of 10 games. They were 8-2 against the spread, but they have not covered a game since she went down. They're 0-3 against the spread. And it actually started in the second half against Minnesota, that first game. In the second game against Minnesota, when she went down, they got smoked in the second half and ended up not even covering that 11.5-point spread that they were getting at home against the Minnesota Lynx when Minnesota was in a revenge spot. So the more and more I looked into the game, the thing that sticks out to me, and this is an ugly one, a lot of people probably not going to like it, I actually like Seattle team total over. The number's 82.5. It's 83.5 on some books, but you can get a juice, I think it's like minus 125 for the team total over 82.5. That's the way I would play it. I think, like I said, the offenses look terrible, so it's a little bit of a buy low spot. I think you get a get right spot for them. Chicago's defense is bottom 2, both full season and last 5 games. And it's not just because they can't guard. It's also because they turn the ball over a lot. So the way that Seattle likes to play, they should be able to impose their will on a team like Chicago. The Chicago Sky actually allow the most turnovers, most points off turnovers in the WNBA. We just saw the Lynx do it to them in the last game. I don't have the number right in front of me, but that's how Minnesota was able to get to 90 points because they turned Chicago over a ton of times. I think they had 17 to 20 turnovers, and they scored at least 20 to 25 points off those turnovers in that last game. This is a Seattle team that absolutely loves to get out and run. They're second in fast break points. Chicago allows the most fast break points in the WNBA. So this is the jumpstart that Seattle needs, in my opinion, against the Chicago defense that has been struggling. But then you also get Skylar Diggins back as well. You look at the Sky defense recently; they just allowed the Lynx to get to 91 points. The Dream scored 86. The Lynx scored 91. 81 to the Minnesota Lynx in a game that they did cover. But those are the last four. On average, as a home dog, 6-3 to the over. They've allowed an average of 89 points per game. So I think Seattle can absolutely get right in this spot. As much as the total has continued to drop, I think Seattle offense can come in here, and this will be the game that they get right, in my opinion, just because of the way that they play. I think Seattle can absolutely mop the floor with Chicago. I'm not betting the 10, but I think the team total is the best bet. I haven't bet it yet, but that's what's on my short list. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. And I didn't really look into player props in this game at all, but if Angel Reese plays, I think it is a look on her rebounds. Seattle is one of the worst rebounding teams in the WNBA. Real quick, if we pull that up, like some Cardoso rebounds also probably could be something in this spot. If we look at real quick, Seattle, it's crazy how, like, I think we saw this in the NBA. I can't remember who it was. It might have been like Cleveland, the Cleveland Cavaliers. You got Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and you can't grab a rebound. Seattle is, let's see, rebounding. Yeah, they give up the fourth most offensive rebounds, and they're the worst defensive rebounding team in the WNBA. They allow the most rebounds, second most defense, the most defensive. They give up the most defensive rebounds. They give up the fourth most offensive rebounds, and they are 11th overall rebounding. And it's kind of head scratching. No idea what Noelle Quinn is doing out there, but they got really good rebounders in Ezzy Mabnabor and even Skylar Diggins can come down and grab some boys. Gabby Williams is a good rebounder, and for some reason you can't grab rebounds. So couldn't talk anybody off some Angel Reese boards. I think she has gone under in the last couple games, but if she doesn't play, they probably get mollywopped again. And I think Seattle's offense is going to be able to score in this spot. So that's my thought process. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Word. Good to hear that, Justin. Hope your little girl's doing well as well. Helm says he thinks the Storm blows them out today. Storm by 20. Chad says Sky with only Rachel and Lit as ball handlers is scary, and that's a fact. That is a fact. I don't want this number though. Helm says he's going right back to Gabby, points, rebounds, and assists, running back. I think they did boost the number. I was looking into it last night or yesterday. I think she did get benched as well. She went over, even with getting benched in the last game. Gabby Williams did, but I want to say the number's 24.5 when I looked at it last night, or actually yesterday evening. Maybe it came back down to Skylar Diggins. I think I looked at it before Skylar Diggins was taken off the injury report. No, it's 24.5. She had 28 in that last game, and she only played 27 minutes. That's actually 27 minutes is the lowest she's played in the last 10 minutes. I do think we get a fired up Gabby Williams, and I'm not sure who's going to stay in front of her tonight. She should have a great impact on the game. She finished last game with 14, 6, and 8, and she didn't even play well. Like I said, Noelle Quinn benched her. She couldn't guard anybody. But she still did her thing. So I couldn't talk anybody off taking Gabby. Gabby has been excellent. She's absolutely been excellent. On the road specifically, she's been really good. She's over in 6 of her last 10 road games, back-to-back road games as well against the Liberty and the Connecticut Sun. So yeah, I like to look for Gabby. And like I said, Chicago's a soft defense. Let's see. Chaz says anyone going off on the wings officially should be stretching from the record books and not count. I agree, man. It was kind of crazy. And I even bet it. That's the worst part, man. That's the worst part. That's a fact, Greg. You're right. I don't know. We'll see how easy it is. 9.5 is a lot for me, man. It's a lot. ES says, Gorner says, we fading the Sky early in case Angel gets ruled out. Team total currently at 73.5. So, the funny thing is if I look at the numbers, it don't really favor Chicago, Seattle a lot in this spot. Seattle, I talked about, how I think they should be able to score the basketball. Seattle's actually the worst offensive rated team. Their offense is worse than the Connecticut Sun in the last 5 games. They got a 92.8 offensive rating, in their last 5 games. But defensively, they are third, 96.9 defensive rating, only averaging 72 points per game, which is the worst in the WNBA, but giving up the third fewest at 78.5. So, yeah, I would need some kind of insight to know if Angel Reese going to play or not. This could be a sad story in Chicago if she don't play tonight, though. I do agree with that. Brian says he likes under. I'll take an afternoon nap. Don't want to watch it. Chad says going off on the wings is like having the highest GPA in special. I can't laugh at that. Natalie says Storm first half -5. She also likes under 156. Heavy on it. Sky might score 50. Storm might score 90. No way I take an under. Personally, I agree with that, Helms. I like the Storm team total over. I don't even care how many Chicago score. I think Seattle, they probably got a point to prove with this one. They've been terrible recently. This is the perfect get right spot. Sky might not get 60 though. That is true. G421 says he likes the Storm team total over as well. Gabby over her assists and NECA over her 18.5 points. Anthony says he's going to outline this. Storm take him 20 minus 19.5 plus 350. Sky team total under 72.5. Both on FanDuel. This game is high variance. Let's swing big. I couldn't talk you off. Not talk you off. One and done says too many people liking the Seattle minus 9.5. They not letting that many people get rich tonight. I don't know though. I think a lot of people stopped though, one, because this line was 6.5. It actually opened 6 yesterday. This is before the news that Ariel Atkins wasn't going to play, and Angel Reese was added to the report. There's Skylar Diggins coming back because she's off the report. Then it got to 9.5. It really hasn't been bet up since last night. So I don't know how many people actually liking the 9.5. Freestyle says, I love how the ladies are in here giving their opinions and running it up. Great community. Yeah, I like that as well. Shout out to all the ladies, man. All right, we've been on here for a whole hour, probably a little bit over. What I bet was just the over between the Connecticut and the Sparks, but I got a really good number yesterday at 165.5. Aaliyah Boston, I really like a lot tonight as well. 21.5 rebounds and points and rebounds for her. And then I do think, like I said, I think Seattle can run it up for sure. I really don't know what to do as far as like, I always keep it 100 with you guys. I have no idea what to do with these spreads, man. I don't want to lay points with the Sparks because they won 3 straight games. Are they 6 points better than Connecticut? Probably so, but they didn't cover against Connecticut last time. I think they won their game by like 7. So I guess I kind of lean towards Connecticut, but then again, Marina Mabry first game back, so not really sure. Just played the over. I kind of want to lean towards the Aces to be able to get their revenge, but again, Indiana lost 3 straight games. They're coming back home. They have a lot of rest after the game, so they can kind of go, full throttle the night before going to Chicago to play against the Chicago Sky. They are 3-0 against the spread as a home dog as well, so I don't really want to fade them. I'm just giving you guys my thought process. And then the Seattle and Chicago game, I just can't lay this many points with Seattle because if Angel Reese comes back, this line is going to come down. But I do think that even if Angel Reese plays, she turns the ball over as well. Do think Seattle's going to be able to score. So unofficially, I like Seattle team total. Well, unofficially, as far as betting, I like Seattle team total over. And these, I spend tons of time, as you guys can tell, researching the games, thinking about the games, blah, 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 blah. None of it matters if the outcome is not income. And I'm not outcoming anything right now. So we'll see what happens. Best of luck on whatever it is that you guys are playing. Link for all the official plays in the description of the video. Hit the like button for me on the way out. Check the resources out if you guys are interested in any of these. jaXon, Money Baller, Outlier, Jam. I showed you guys how to use most of them during the show, as I always do. And like I said, subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bell on so you know when I go live. We do have 3 games for tomorrow. 1 line is already out. 2 games on Saturday, and then 5 games on Sunday. So WNBA presents a lot of opportunities to make some money. The players are like, nah, we might not play that hard today, or we might do what we're not supposed to do, but neither here nor there, man. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Appreciate everybody for tuning in as always.